Hello, everyone. My name is Rick Lyon, and I lead the fundraising team for the Center for Unity. I'm sending this message to you as one of our valued and all-important donors to show you what we have accomplished with your prayers and financial support. All of us at the Center for Unity are experienced students of the Urantia boat and dedicated to doing our Paradise Father's will and to serving the spiritual needs of mankind. We have committed much of our time, talents, and our own personal resources to this effort. Our service consists of creating new tools, secondary works, study aids, to bring this revelation of the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of mankind to the people, especially the young people of this world. We are doing this because we believe that by educating and inspiring our younger people with the knowledge that they are personally and individually loved and valued by the creator of the universe of universes, and by all of us too, that we can help them to come to know God, become more like him, and grow closer to him through the life and teachings of Jesus. And if our young people can learn to love and value themselves and others, we can fight all the drugs and emotional issues and violence plaguing our young people today. The Center for Unity was founded on the idea that the hope of a better world depends upon the enlightenment of the individual. And because you are one of our valued donors to the Center for Unity, we want you to know and realize that all this has been accomplished and more things will be accomplished only because of people like yourself who pray for us, share what we're doing, and help us fund these projects. Because you have invested your time, your interest, and money in this service and this revelation. We want to make sure that you see the fruits and the dividends of your investment in us. We do not take this for granted. We appreciate you, and we hope to share with you the spiritual joys and rewards, along with the sense of accomplishment that comes from supporting and contributing to this movement. We want you to have a sense of ownership in all that has been created for your own service opportunities. So let me take the projects in the order that they were accomplished, but in respect for your time, I won't go into detail with any of them. But please know that one of our team is always available to do a Zoom demonstration or a training session with you or your study group or any group of friends. And please remember that we are continually growing, expanding, and improving our finished projects while we're working on new and exciting projects that are coming soon. As long as we continue to earn your support, there will always be something new or coming soon from the Center for Unity. But first, let me show you AskJesusChatbot.com. This is an AI project. This was our first AI project. So if you type in a question here, you'll get a response there. And you can see that I typed in the question, when was Jesus born? And here's the response I got. Again, in the interest of time, I won't go through all this in detail, but you're encouraged to go and use these projects, try them out for yourself, play with them, and use them to your benefit. We launched this project at the 2023 Parliament of World Religions in Chicago. And here's a picture of our booth at that event, which was held at the massive McCormick's Place Convention Center. Of all the hundreds of booths that were there for many religious and spiritual organizations, we were the only ones to have anything about AI or artificial intelligence. We were into AI. I like to say we were into AI before AI was cool, but that's the way it should be. The Urantia people, the Urantia organizations should be leading the way when it comes to finding new ways to reach young people with the truth, the beauty, and the goodness of God and the life and teachings of Jesus. And at our booth, we had 2 computers set up. You can see those on the back table there. So people could try our Ask Jesus chatbot and our discoverjesus.com website. And we had a game that we invited people to play. You spin the wheel and win a prize. You can see that on the front table there. Of course, they had to give us their email address and sign up for our newsletter in order to play, but many people did. One lady with her teenage child came up to the booth, and the child had pink frizzy hair and would not look up at me or make eye contact, just anything like that. So after the mom and I chatted for a bit, I asked the teenager, "Hey, do you like AI stuff?" And they perked up and said, "Yes." I said, "Well, come over and give ours a try." And which they did. So I told the young person just to type in a question as if you were asking something of Jesus. So they typed in, "Who am I?" And I said, "Well, I don't think it'll answer a specific question like that, but let's see what it says." So they did. And the AI responded from the Urantia book and said, "You are a child of God, and you are loved and valued by the creator of the universe of universes. You are part of the spiritual family." And it went on from there. And we were both stunned by the beauty of the response. The child got up and said that was awesome, and then left. But 5 minutes later, that child returned, and now, looking me in the eye, said, "Can you tell me how to become a Christian? Because I decided I want to follow Jesus." And that, my friends, is the power of using new technology to reach young people of today with this revelation. And this is the result of your support for the Center for Unity. Ask Jesus chatbot now has over 65,000 questions asked of it in a little over a year and a half. And that's with a filter on it that blocks any inappropriate or silly questions. So the next project we accomplished after over 2 years of time, thousands of volunteer hours, literally thousands of volunteer hours, and no small sum of money for professional programmers and developers, is discoverjesus.com. We launched this in the fall of 2023, but we didn't consider it finished until December of 2024 when we reached the goal of 500 unique essays. But since then, we have added audio discussions in French and Spanish, and soon we'll be adding Portuguese translations as time and funds allow. I like to call this a custom learning experience for the Urantia book because it is like a neural network web of interconnected essays about people, places, topics, and dates from part 4 of the Urantia book. Each essay has a beautiful, relevant artwork included that is visually attractive and adds so much to the essay. In about a year and a half, we have had over 26,000 visitors from 149 countries. Just real quick, let me show you a couple of our analytics here. So this is discoverjesus.com for the past 12 months. So you can see the usage has been growing quite a bit. And for the past couple of months, we've been setting records almost every week. And at the time I took this screenshot, you can see there was 2 people from the United States, one from Spain and one from Venezuela using it. And this is a map that shows where the users are coming from. So anything in blue has had at least one visitor to discoverjesus.com. So the darker the blue, the more visitors that we've had from that country. So you can see, of course, the United States leads the way, Canada, Israel, United Kingdom, Australia, Spain, and India. But you can see that we've reached the world with discoverjesus.com and Urantia book. So again, with respect for your time, I'll just invite you to consider this as a spiritual adventure that you can explore on your own. Because of the interconnectedness of the essays, this isn't a linear study like a book. You begin with one topic and then follow the twists and turns and go wherever the truth leads you. It will take you to places you never would have thought to go. And in this way, it deepens your understanding of whatever you're exploring. Again, this is a massive resource that came only because of you and over 200 others like you who paid the expenses necessary to create this. And we hope you are pleased with the results. About the middle of last year, suddenly, something new and amazing was dropped in our laps. And that is urantiabookpod.com. Google launched Notebook LM, and Gabriel discovered it, and we used it to create AI-generated podcasts for each paper of the Urantia book. And over a period of about 3 or 4 weeks at most, we created the audio podcasts, a website to host them, and then posted them on many social media platforms like YouTube and Spotify and others. And we began using it, Susan and I began using it in our own study group. We listened to the podcast before reading a paper, and now it's a regular part of our study periods, and everyone seems to really enjoy them. These are fun, they're entertaining, but they're also insightful, and they simplify complex topics in a way that will appeal to Urantia book students and to those who've never heard of the Urantia book. So you can use these to introduce the Urantia book teachings to others. You can share them to your own social media accounts and listen to them with study group, family, or friends. And they crack jokes in these, and it's really amazing what's accomplished here with this. So now let me ask you, have you ever wished that George Lucas or Steven Spielberg would create a film about the Urantia book? Well, sure, we all have. Well, we don't have George or Steven on board yet, but we do have a film project that is moving forward. And this is one of our initial projects from 3 years ago, but we just could not come up with the funding to make it happen. However, we are a persistent bunch, And actually, I think the delay has been a good thing because our plan and vision for this is much, much better now than it was back then. But during that time, we put together a team of people, created a real plan and developed storylines, generated interest from people in the film industry, and engaged legal counsel to keep this project going forward. This project is going to be a streaming film series, perhaps all AI generated because AI can do that nowadays, but more likely it will be a hybrid of AI and live actors with AI creating the sets and locations without the huge expense of shooting on locations. That is still to be determined, but that's how it seems to be shaping up. We created a new organization that we call Divine Mother Productions, which is a subsidiary of the Center for Unity. Originally, in the pre-AI days, we were faced with spending almost $400,000 to create a trailer that we could use to pitch this project to potential investors and film producers. So it pretty much went nowhere until AI. Then, for about 5% of the original estimate, we created a beautiful and powerful trailer for our films. The film series is called The Divine Within, and it consists of 4 seasons of 8 one-hour episodes each season, with the first season being called Equal, which is about the spiritual equality of women. The trailer is only a couple minutes long, so I encourage you, after watching this video, to go watch the trailer. You will be touched by the beauty of it. Okay, please feel free to share it far and wide. If you know anyone who would be willing to fund such an important project, please send them to us, because the only thing standing between this long-time dream of the Urantia community and reality is the money to do it. Let's just imagine if we can show the spiritual value and the love and respect that Jesus has for women, what will that do to strengthen our families and calm our strife-torn and stress-filled world? Next, let me show you a project that would have been science fiction just a few short years ago, but is now a reality and serving this world and this revelation. And that is urantiabooktutor.com. Urantia Book Tutor is much more advanced than Ask Jesus chatbot, and it embraces the entire Urantia book. One big difference with Urantia Book Tutor is that it is conversational, meaning that it will ask you questions to take you deeper into your question. It will remember your conversation and respond directly to follow-up questions, even weeks or months later, because it remembers. We uploaded each paragraph of the Urantia book into the AI individually to improve the responses, but it is still in testing and development, so it doesn't always get the paper section paragraph correct, even though it does give beautiful and accurate responses. Nothing is perfect on this world, but we are working on this to make it the best study aid ever created. AI is what young people are and will be using to educate themselves for years to come, and we are positioned to get this revelation to them using the tools that they are going to use themselves. We're going to meet them where they are. We're going to take this revelation to them rather than waiting for them to come to us. Another marvelous feature of the Urantia Book Tutor is that if you enter a Spanish question, you get a Spanish response. Whatever language you enter, you get the response in that language. But to get the most out of your Urantia Book Tutor, you need to get creative with your questions. The more you tell the Urantia Book Tutor what you want and how you want it, the more you will get from it. Ask a complex question and get a response. Ask it to simplify or clarify the response, and it will do that. Ask it to explain the question to a 10-year-old child, and it will respond on that level of comprehension. You have a project you want to do, presentation, a workshop, a document, ask it to help you with that, and you will be amazed at the hours of time you just saved. If you're feeling playful, ask it to write you a song based on your Urantia book, or create a poem, or even an outline for a new book that you'd like to create, and many other things. What you can get from your Urantia Book Tutor is limited only by your imagination. Of course, using AI at this level has to be paid for based on usage, but our goal and commitment with all these projects is to provide these resources free of charge to anyone, anywhere with internet access. We can only do this with the support of our all-important donors. And we do not charge for these tools and resources, and we don't clutter them up with ads. And we will do this as long as the Urantia community helps us pay the bills. Those who can support these projects create the opportunity that benefits those who cannot. The idea of paying it forward is not just an act of kindness, but a real act of service. And your donation is a way that you can serve this revelation, even in your own busy life of work, school, families, and other responsibilities of this mortal life. So finally, let me share with you a couple of projects we have in the works. Taking what we learned from creating discoverjesus.com, we are creating discovertheyouranswerbook.com. The average reading level in the United States, for example, is the 6th grade level. Discover the Your Answer Book is going to share the teachings on 3 different levels that make this revelation accessible to the vast majority of people in the world. We negotiated a 50% discount with our developer for this project, but we still need $15,000 to build it. Our film project, The Divine Within, needs $25,000 to create the professional pitch presentation that our film advisors tell us is absolutely required in order to take this project to the next step and get it in front of those who can make it happen. And finally, we are creating a podcast called The Divine Within. This is in the very early stages, but we have put down the initial money for equipment and development and online hosting of this important project. This is not going to be an intellectual podcast. It is going to be so much more. We really think we can do something new and innovative, something really important that serves people spiritually, helps them to take what we know and use it to make their lives better. We are not just giving them a new revelation, but we are empowering people to put this revelation to good use in their own lives, to deal with real problems. This will put the revelation into action for the benefit of anyone we can reach with this podcast, even and especially those outside the Your Answer community. There are several really great podcasts that serve this revelation, but our podcast will use this revelation to serve many people. And we can use this podcast to reach and serve people of all faiths and cultures, and even those who claim to be spiritual but not religious. And with your help, we can help people find their own personal religion, their own personal relationship with God. But rest assured, knowing this group, we will do it in a fun and entertaining way, not taking ourselves too seriously, for the most part. Being joyful is an important reward of service, and it's a great attraction for young people. We all want to be of good cheer, to be around those who are lighthearted and fun to be with. It's the negativity and fear and guilt that is driving our young people away from God and poisoning our families. We are the light of the world, and with your help, we are going to let it shine and bring light to this dark and confused world. So there you have it. Thanks to you, we have been able to accomplish all this in about 3 years. Just imagine what we can do together in the next 3 years or the next 30 years. Since I am the fundraising person for the Center for Unity, let me do my job here and say that if you are one of our recurring donors, we thank you so very much, because recurring donations are the foundation of our accomplishments. They provide financial security that we can rely on when planning for the future. If you are a recurring donor, please consider increasing your donation, but only if you can do so comfortably. If you are one of our valued one-time donors, may I encourage you to consider another donation at this important time. Rome wasn't built in a day. It was built one brick at a time, and your donation is a brick that builds this revelation. Our team is the vehicle that moves these projects forward, but your donations are the fuel that keeps the wheels of progress turning. My job is to make sure that our financial engine is well tuned and running efficiently, and that we don't run out of fuel. If you are one of our major donors, please know that there is no way we can repay you for what you have done for us and this revelation. Your reward will certainly be in heaven. If you are blessed to have the means for a large donation, we can help arrange the greatest benefit to you from your donation. We can help you with information about tax-free qualified charitable distributions, required minimum distributions, and we can help you with estate planning for donations. We have established an endowment fund that currently has about $38,000 in it, but our goal is to someday use this endowment to support the long-term efforts of Center for Unity, of course, but to also pay it forward by helping new projects for this revelation and help to get startup service projects launched and into action. We remember those who, like you, helped us get started, and we plan to someday in turn help others get started in service to this revelation, long after all of us have found our mansion on high. If you like what you see and hear, and you want to continue to be a vital part of the whole team, if you want to help us help others to discover Jesus, if you agree that the hope of a better nation and a better world depends on the enlightenment of the individual, please scan this QR code to donate on our website or visit the centerforunity.org/contribute to donate by credit card. You can even donate stock there if you'd like. Or donations can be made by check to the Center for Unity, P.O. Box 111, Otterburn, Indiana, 47970 in the United States. Or if you need instructions for a wire transfer or a non-cash donation, give me a call at 765-366-7203 or drop us an email to contact@thecenterforunity.org. And remember to visit our merchandise page as well, because we got some pretty cool stuff there using the artwork from Discover Jesus. And while we encourage you to support the Center for Unity, of course, let us, in the spirit of unity, also encourage you to support your other favorite Urantia organizations. Many people are doing great things, and we all need to work together through goals rather than creeds. So thank you for watching this video. I can only give you a glimpse of what we have to offer, so please explore the projects on your own. Remember to pray first for our success, share these tools and resources with others, and use them for your own service projects, because these were truly created for you and by you. And with your prayers, encouragement, and financial support, together in partnership with each other and our Paradise Father, we can do great things where great things are waiting to be done. Thank you.